Talking of very large criminal enterprises,
Yes.
Reacher. Oh my goody.
Episode
So
7.
last week out, he got exposed finally, and everyone
He
knew what was
did.
going on.
Yep.
So this week it was a plotting and planning time.
It was. It was a lot of planning. It's all seemingly going their way.
Mm-hmm.
Neegly rocked up. We knew this was coming. And as soon as he was like, it kicked off with him having a phone call of, oh yeah, my guy's going to be coming to help. I was like, oh, that's Neegly. Neegly's on the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will say the biggest shock is that it took to episode 7 for Reacher and the FBI woman to bang.
Yes.
we called it in episode 2, and
Yeah.
it's taken us to episode 7 for this to actually happen.
Yeah, exactly. But it has happened. They and it all went wrong very quickly after that as well.
Yeah.
Which was really funny. She's like, no, we can't do this. It'll just complicate things. She's like, I changed my mind. I know the real you now. It's worth it. And then basically instantly after that, shit started going wrong.
Yeah. And then obviously they then got pissed off at each other because Reacher seemingly wasn't going to get his opportunities to take in Quinn.
Yeah.
Because they'd played the dad, I forget his name now. But Neegly had met him and kind of persuaded him to try and get info on when the deal was going down, as it was his only way to protect his son.
Yeah.
We're led to believe that Quinn tells him where it is, and we think, okay, Neegly's following the buyers. They're all set up, getting set up for this buy. They're undercover. And then you're like, oh, well, Reacher's... I was like, sat there, I was like, okay, so at what point does Reacher somehow just blow this whole thing up and just say, fuck it, I don't care, I'm doing my own thing?
Yeah.
To which then he does storm off and whips out a sniper out of the boot of his car.
The most Reacher thing I think that's happened all season, ironically.
The funny thing is, I was like, oh, yeah, of course he's got some... like. And the funnier thing to me was the FBI woman comes over and she's like, oh, going to get food is code now for going to buy a sniper. And he was like, well, it was in a pawn shop. But that's when, like, well, obviously we're jumping around here, but it ends on the cliffhanger of Reacher on the phone to Neegly saying, make sure to distance yourself from me. I'm about to break 1 million federal laws.
Yeah. If I don't manage to be lucky enough to spend my life on the run, I'm going to a federal prison for a very long time.
Yeah. And anyone who's connected to me will probably also get pulled in. So to which then he's like, deal's about to go down, and Neegly goes, well, I'm still following the buyer, so I don't know who's pulled up there. To the cliffhanger of the buyers going down at the party, and Quinn never trusted the dad, which shouldn't really have been a surprise.
No, it shouldn't have.
But it still caught me off guard.
I'm enjoying it because the entire episode, it really feels like they're putting together a plan that can't possibly fail. And it because of the way like we know this format works, it felt like we were going to get to the end and they were going to be ready to ambush the buy, and then it was all going to kick off because you've essentially got like a 3-party fight going on.
Yeah.
But then you got that twist at the end, you're like, oh shit, it's going to be even more complicated because they now need to get to the right place and then there'll be a 3-party fight. So I think it was a really good bait and switch from the writers to make, like, it was meeting the expectations of where we expected the story to be, and it just subverted them once again to really reset what we thought was happening.
Well, yeah, they kind of hid the misdirect because obviously going into it, we know, the viewers from the last seasons, oh, this is going to end in a big old gunfight. So then when they decide to go and tell the ATF or whatever, and bring them in and they take control, we're kind of like put onto the thing of like, oh shit, this isn't quite going to go how we expected. So maybe not a big gunfight like that. So like we're already kind of thrown off and we think, oh, well, this is going to go a weird way. so that it
Yeah.
completely distracts you from the fact that maybe this is a complete switch up. I will say something that really I thought was really good and well written was the moment between the dad and the son where he kind of apologized to him.
Yeah.
Clearly because he was like, I'm either dying or I'm going to prison. And this might be the last time I get to talk to my son.
Yeah. Best case scenario, I'm going to prison after this,
Mm-hmm.
so we won't see each other a lot.
But I thought, because we've kind of, I want to say they've kind of sold us on the dad being somewhat caring, but also tried to make it feel like he was purposefully like didn't care about his son.
Yeah. Quite cold, I think, is probably the
Yes,
best way to describe it.
but I thought it was nice to see that side get shown and like give that character that moment. I'm interested to see if Quinn does find out. I think I want to say it's guaranteed that Quinn dies, but I'm actually not sure. It wouldn't shock me if Quinn gets away again.
I think they're setting this up to be a Reacher doesn't have a set supporting cast for a couple of seasons because he's on the run for committing murder.
There's that
And
to it.
then we get two small scale stories where he really has to try and keep his nose a bit cleaner to not raise any alarms.
Hmm.
And then season 5, for instance, or season 6, is the government really need his help for a big problem. And they go, this will right all your wrongs. Or like he gets
Yeah.
arrested at the end of a season and he gets given the opportunity to right his wrongs in the eyes of the law.
Yeah, I could see something like that going. I could see this ending with Quinn remembers who Reacher is or something with some face off, and somehow Quinn slips away.
It would be really funny if he hits him over the head like a frying pan and then he remembers who he is.
Just knocks the sense back into him.
Yeah, literally.
But yeah, I wouldn't like, and like you say, we get a couple of seasons where he's on the run, can't really try and hunt down Quinn very easily because he's also trying to keep low profile.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, this show's been a lot of fun. The
It
season's
really
been a lot
has.
of
They've done a
fun.
really good job. It's definitely a level up from season 2, which was not bad in any way. And hopefully they can keep kind of going up. It's been like the most successful TV show on Prime Video. Like as I can't remember if it's full stop or just one that have been made by Prime. I can't remember exactly what the definition is there, but it's absolutely smashed it. Season 4, I believe, was already greenlit before season 3 came out,
Yeah, I think it
so
was.
we should be good there. I see no reason we don't get like 6 or 7 seasons of this pretty easily at this point, especially when we've seen it grow every season on season to being the biggest show on their platform. This is kind of probably going to become their banker that they rely on for the next 4 or 5 years to keep viewers coming back while they can try and get the successor. So it's like, oh, you come for Reacher, you stay for Cross, Invincible, The Boys, whatever. Interesting that Reacher managed to usurp The Boys as well. I don't know if it's just because of the part of the internet we're on, but I would have guessed The Boys was their biggest show. But maybe just Amazon's video platform as a whole has got bigger over the last year or so.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if the next season of The Boys then tops this.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be a really good sign for Prime that what they're doing with their video platform is clearly working.
Yeah, and
if they could have year-on-year record-breaking shows, that's always a good thing.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,